I will say something really important about Barbie, by the way, with their marketing, is they did what every content creator should do. They became a trend. So everybody was creating content for them for free. So they literally became the trend that everyone wanted to jump on because that helped their views, which is such a crazy concept to become that.
Well, welcome to another solo episode of Habits and Hustle. If you guys have not yet subscribed, please, I beg you to subscribe. It makes such a major difference and it helps the algorithm. So if you have not yet done so, please do. And also, if there's any type of topic or guest that you'd like me to chase after, please let me know, because your feedback is everything. We do this for you. So if we can curate and design episodes that are really going to help you and give you actionable ways to improve your life in any way, please let me know, and then we can help get you that information. And without further ado, we're going to start. We're going to go right into it. And I have my foil, Shawnee. Say hi, Shawnee.
Hello, how are you?
I thought you were going to say...
Sorry, hello, how are you? That was so weird.
I thought you were going to say, hi, Shawnee. You know, sometimes when people say like...
Oh, hi, Barbie.
Yeah. No, hi, Barbie. Okay, we have to talk about the Barbie movie, too. Let's start with that one.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Okay. We have to talk about this. Do you know this movie has made more money than, I think it's like the third highest grossing movie ever?
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was
Google
just
it.
Highest grossing by a woman director.
I don't know. Check it out, because it made over $1 billion in its first week. Like, I think Marvel movies, Mission Impossible movies didn't even come close.
That's crazy.
Yeah, go check it out. Just actually Google it right now. I want to make sure before I spew off my...
The Barbie phenomenon is far from over. Greta Gerwig's film, which earlier this week became the highest grossing Warner Brothers release ever domestically, nearly managed to stay number one again with 21.5 million in its fifth weekend. It's up to 567 million in North America and an eye-whopping 1.28 billion globally.
Yeah, so it's made 1.3 billion already. Now, this is the thing. I love the messaging of it. Like, I was not expecting the movie to actually, like, when I saw the previews before it came out, I didn't think they were going to turn it on its head like this and they swapped it, right? So it's like a whole different zeitgeist. It's like she's the boss, Barbie's the boss, and Ken is kind of like what we would think would be like that old school or old fashion woman type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But first of all, this is what I wanted to talk about. It's not a kid's movie. People are, and me included, people are rushing to the theater with their little girls. My kid's 8. I didn't know. I took her. All the other moms were taking their 8-year-olds, their 7-year-olds, their 6-year-olds. Everybody was rushing with their little girls to this movie, and it's not a kid's movie at all. The content's not very kids don't relate to that content. It's not relatable to, really. I mean, if you're an empowered woman, of course it's relatable to you or someone or anybody, but it's not a kid's movie.
But do you feel like maybe the kids just don't understand some of the bigger concepts, but they still are entertained by it? You know what I mean? I mean,
ask people. I think Sydney liked the colors, the pink.
Right, like that stuff.
And the pink and, Margot Robbie's so pretty, you know, and it's like Barbie, the little ways they say things.
Right.
But she has no idea what's going on.
Right. A lot of that stuff's going to fly over their heads.
Yeah. So, I mean, do I think that she actually wasn't I don't think she loved it. I know that what I've noticed is the parents like it, or the moms love it, but the kids are kind of all right, they're not really, they're happy to be going to see a movie. Kids want to go to the movie theater just to see a movie. They don't care what you're watching because it's fun. You get the popcorn, you get the candy, you get the whatever. It's an experience for kids. But the actual movie, no, it's not relatable to a kid.
Right.
At all. And yet they're by the droves. Every time I'm running into a mom with a little girl, they've either gone to the movie, or they ask me, "Have you taken Sydney to the movie yet?" Oh my God! It's the big thing to do.
But do you feel like maybe I think 8 is really young. 8 is just kind of hard. But do you think maybe the 10 to 14-year-old crowd might kind of resonate a bit more?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on the 10 or the. I just know that my kid, who's 8, all of her friends' moms and all of her friends I was in Croatia actually when the movie came out, so I had to wait until I got back to take her. But when I got back, the movie was only out for like 7 days, like 6 days, and like all of her friends saw the movie already.
You know, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, that's even more crazy. You're the only person in the country who has not seen this movie.
I mean, yeah, based on their numbers, it seems like
my husband saw the movie. Like
That's
everybody
hysterical.
saw the movie.
I want to. I just don't want to have to go. I'm honestly not crazy about going to movies.
Okay, but can we just talk about the content of the movie? Do you know what the content of the movie's about?
I know that it was like an empowerment movie because if you watch any of their junkets or any of the interviews they did beforehand, like the marketing, I thought there was like the mass marketing, which was all the pink, whatever. But if you watch any of the like speaking marketing that they did, they really hyped up the script. Well, they spoke about how it was like all about this. You know, you got to like that it was just like Barbie could do anything. She's a pilot. She was this before anybody even thought that women could do these things. So they really like emphasized that.
They really like turned the whole Barbie concept on its head, even because when we were playing Barbies, we were all when I was playing Barbies, I was like putting on a pretty outfit and like, you know, the androgynous body parts or whatever, you know, but they were very clever in how they marketed the movie. I feel like it was incredible. And even how the song that they did, the Barbie song,
Nicki Minaj,
how they redid the song, and all of it. But I feel like that is like in the zeitgeist, and I think it's just very good timing, or it's like very coincidental that it came out while like Taylor Swift is on this tour, right? Because Taylor Swift's concert and her tour is like the #1 grossing tour of like ever.
It's driving the American economy.
It is literally driving the
insane.
American economy. And which is another thing. It's like, first of all, these tickets, like I'm going to talk about both of these things. The Taylor Swift tickets were so ridiculously expensive. It was insane. Like, I don't care. You know, it made Disney World look like playing with pots and pans because it was like $2,000 for a ticket to see Taylor Grant.
Did you hear what happened with their thing? Like with why that happened?
With Ticketmaster?
Yeah. It was like the whole thing where they bought a bunch of the tickets and then resold them at like these insane values, which is so psychotic.
But that to me is like, it should
be illegal, I think.
It should be illegal. What always happens with ticket sales is that it really becomes like this 80-20 rule, you know, because it's the same people who are buying these lump sums of tickets though. And then they're reselling them to the mass public.
Wasn't it Ticketmaster? Like, wasn't it, done by Ticketmaster? Wasn't it like a scammy, like schemy type thing from them?
I think a lot of people are in business with Ticketmaster. Again, we should. Why don't we Google it before we again talk? I will
say something really important about Barbie, by the way, with their marketing is they did what every content creator should do. They became a trend. So everybody was creating content for them for free. So they literally became the trend that everyone wanted to jump on because that helped their views, which is such a crazy concept to become that.
Well, I think it wasn't. I think #1, I think what they did was they paid a lot of influencers and did a lot of influencer marketing. They did a lot of social media, digital marketing, and also for the older generation, like let's say like me, who remember Barbie when we all played with Barbie. So it was very nostalgic for the older crowd. So they're like getting it on they're really kind of they're hitting it on so many different cylinders and different demos, which really helped elevate everything as well. The whole thing should be a case study of how good they did this whole thing because but I do believe a lot of it in life, like everything, is very much about timing. And between that happening around the same time as the Taylor Swift concert and what she represents to the modern woman and strong women, empowered women, same with Barbie, it's just now made that conversation even bigger and more elevated, and it's become like that is become the zeitgeist, I believe, of now.
Yeah. Have you been following what's happening with Logan Paul's fiance?
Before you get into Logan Paul, find out about what you just said about Ticketmaster.
It's not that clear.
So from what I understand, and
there's like a few different,
she's been in a fight with Ticketmaster before, but from what I remember happening was that, or what I think happened, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll hear it, but I feel that it's the same buyers, it's the same people who are buying the tickets who then resell them, and they get this priority where they're buying up the mass amounts of tickets, which leaves like 10% of the tickets are actually going to like the regular person, to call Ticketmaster when the ticket goes on sale, which is really screwed up.
They're saying that they're currently under investigation. So they're going to be investigating Live Nation Entertainment to see if they did any sort of like abuse of power when it comes to this. Because it seems like there's like a whole thing.
I don't care how much money someone made. I mean, I think it's obscene that people were spending $2,000 a ticket, $1,000 a ticket, $800 a ticket. I don't care, to take their little kid to see Taylor Swift. It's so unfair. I find it to be so awful and elitist that, like, truly, unless you are like a multi-gazillionaire or super rich or have major connections, you're just not able to see the show.
But there was,
and by the way, it was sold out everywhere.
But people bought tickets, and
yeah, but they're spending a lot of money on it.
No, but as in people bought some normal tickets, didn't they?
That's my point. Very few people were given the opportunity because they were sold out so fast because of all these other big ticket sellers who bought mass amounts of tickets to go back onto the market.
But like how much is a Super Bowl ticket, for example? Like if you were to buy a Super Bowl ticket, how much is that?
A lot.
Right. So to me, it's like, I think a lot of people...
But she's not a Super Bowl.
Why? She is to some people.
She's
that's bigger than the Super Bowl most people.
That's my point. She's become the Super Bowl. Like, that's what I'm saying. But what I mean is, because she also represents the modern woman, the empowered woman, the successful, independent woman, who she represents so much of that for the young generation. By the way, I've got to say, I actually really like Taylor Swift.
Dude, her music is unreal.
Her music is really good.
I've started getting into it because of everybody else.
I was using Sydney as an excuse to want to go to the show, but really, I wanted to go to the show.
Oh, did you go to Eras tour?
I wanted to go, but it really disturbed my sensibility to spend that kind of money on tickets, and I just wouldn't do it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not doing it. I'm not spending a fortune just to go see a concert. I'll watch the clips on social media and on TikTok.
Like, I agree with all of your points about her, except for that one, because I would spend crazy money to go to certain sports games, to see certain concerts, to go to certain festivals. Like, I would spend crazy money. I mean, even just to go to Burning Man, people are spending like $20,000. Do you know what I mean?
It's a fortune too.
So I think experiences are just really different, and it's what your priority is. For example, had you been like a Taylor Swift fan for 10 years, like, people are spending psycho money just to go see Messi play, and they would fly across the world to go see Messi play.
First of all, it's so funny you just said that. I was just going to bring Messi up. Yeah. So that is so funny. So now my kid, my 10-year-old, okay, Sydney's 8, Dylan's 10, he wants to go see Messi play in Miami.
Yeah, you should take him.
I am. I'm going to take him. Because, by the way, and this is why I'm going to take him, because tickets aren't $2,000 a piece.
But how much are they? Plus flights?
I think it's way more
flights,
reasonable.
Plus accommodations.
But I can make an entire experience out of it.
But going to a Taylor Swift concert is definitely an experience, and I think it would come to around the same cost once you factor in every single thing. Traveling with kids, are you bringing Sydney also? Is it 3 tickets? Do you know what I mean? Is someone else coming?
That's a very good point.
I just think that it's less about, it's like what you said about working out. It's not that no one has time, it's that they don't prioritize it. So it's the same thing for this. Like, you could spend, honestly, some people would spend 10, 20K on a certain experience if that's like really what they're into.
Yeah.
And some people have been listening to Taylor since they were 2 years old. They're going to spend the $2,000
I like
on
that point. I think that's actually very valid. Okay, you know what? I think that's actually very valid, because it really does come down to what like your thing is, and what you prioritize as the way you want to spend your money in a way that makes you happy and feel, happy and fun and fulfilling and have that experience. Because that's true. You're right. But
it's also once in a lifetime, by the way. The Eras tour is just this one tour, this one time. You can see Taylor anytime, but the Eras tour, specifically this tour, is just happening now. The Super Bowl happens almost every year, right?
I agree.
Well, it does happen every year. The World Cup every 4 years. People are still spending that kind of money.
No, I think you're right. Listen, the Messi thing, listen, again, Google it. I don't know how much a basic ticket is for a soccer game there.
No, listen, her prices are crazy. Like, we're not going to argue that.
No. Yeah. Listen, that's 100% true, but that isn't actually the point, because I think when it is the point and not the point. The first part of the point is, as a per ticket premium like that, I think it's absurd. Yeah. It's not fair. Not like life is fair, but it really just it really disturbs my sensibility to be having to spend that, because I believe that like so many young girls would benefit from it, would love to see it, and they got shafted because all these other people were allowed to buy these big bulk tickets, big bulk orders of these tickets. And really it came down to only the elite, only the rich are able to see the concert. And I think that's really terrible.
I agree with that.
That's my first
wholeheartedly.
point. And I do want to, my other point is it's the compounding effect of having Taylor Swift coming out with that concert in the same time as Barbie. It basically, again, compounds and exaggerates what's happening right now in the zeitgeist, which is this really huge women empowerment, turning it on its head, making Ken off. Well, I guess you didn't see the movie, but making Ken this like whiny, like, you know, Barbie, like this whiny guy who just will like, who's like
the ultimate
kind
simp.
of like a bubblehead who just is just what people assumed Barbie was back then. Like it's just really, I love the way they twisted that. And I just like love that part, but I just, again, I do think the movie in itself, even though I love the content, the message of it, I just don't think it's appropriate for kids going at that age. It's just, there's like sexual undertones, like it's just not necessary. Although it is PG-13, so that it is the onus on the parents.
Oh, it is PG-13?
I think it's PG-13.
Yeah, makes sense.
But with that being said, all the little girls were going in droves. Like if you look in the theater, it was like 3/4 little kids 7 and 8 years old.
But okay, I used to watch, there were so many movies I watched at that age that I didn't understand any of the innuendos, and then as an adult I was like, oh my god. And I feel like it's one of those like you know the symbol for literally for sex. I like someone
She's doing this, by
it's
the way.
hilarious because I saw some kid doing that, and then everybody was doing it in my class, and it was just none of us knew what it was. Like,
that's really funny.
It was hilarious.
Well, I remember as a kid I loved Golden Girls. I loved Three's Company. And by the way, Golden Girls is still my favorite show on the air. I don't care how many years. That and Frasier, nothing beats those two shows. But like the undertone, the sexual innuendos and undertones of Three's Company, like I would just laugh. I had no idea what they were even talking
so
about. But it was cute back then. But like, yeah, as an adult, when you look at it, it's really funny. But anyway, did you guys see Barbie yet? And did any of you guys go see the Taylor Swift concert? I'd like to know. Please let me know. Was it overrated? Was it exactly what you thought it would be? Are you happy you went? Did you take your kids? And what did you think? Did you think it was appropriate for your little ones? I just want to know.
Also, how much money did you spend on your Taylor tickets? I'm actually
so
curious about
because
that.
Because it also depends on what city you went to. Because LA,
that's so true.
Right? Because in LA, it was insanely expensive.
True.
But I had friends who went in Texas, in
Colorado.
I didn't have any friends in Colorado who went. I had a couple of friends go somewhere else. I don't remember. They were still exorbitantly expensive. So I'm curious how much you guys spent on the tickets. Please let me know in the comments.
Do you know that? Sorry, she single-handedly ran the economy of Colorado for like an entire month or something. It was all surrounded on her. Like the whole economy was functioning off of her, and like got them out of some sort of deficit or whatever. It was like the most insane headline I'd ever seen in my life. I was like, that's crazy.
See, I knew she was really popular. Like, don't get me wrong. I did not know the extent and level of popularity that she was. And, you know, Beyonce's on tour now too, right? Yeah. Which is huge. And I mean, she's a huge ticket too, but I have not felt or heard the kind of hype around her concert and her stuff that I've heard around Taylor Swift. It's unbelievable.
All I've seen about Beyonce's is Blue dancing. That's the only thing that I'm seeing is Blue Ivy. She's been dancing.
I've seen that.
I've seen is like the focus has been on her dancing.
See, she's an amazing performer, and because I now missed Taylor Swift, and I'm actually kicking myself, but at the same time I wouldn't have paid that money. I'm now really motivated to see Beyonce because I don't want to. I'm having a little bit of the FOMO.
Yeah,
I'm missing out. I'm missing out. Yes, I am. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and have a great day or evening. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And what else? Is that how I usually sign off?
Yeah, go comment on things.
Yeah, comment on things. Bye.